Welcome to the September 22nd, 2025 meeting of the Library Board. Will the staff secretary call the roll, please?
Maria Fisk.
Present.
Barbara Fulmer.
Present.
Nora Perella.
Present.
Kayla Scott.
Present.
Eileen Speaker.
Here.
Bianca Unidad.
Present.
Will Board Member Perella lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
Certainly.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Will the secretary read the procedures for addressing the Library Board today?
Citizens addressing the board during public comment are asked to approach the podium and are limited to 3 minutes unless extended by the chair, and must be regarding items that are not listed on the agenda and are with the city's jurisdiction. The Brown Act does not permit any action or discussion on items not listed on the agenda. No action will be taken on items addressed under public comments.
Thank you. I will now open public comment. Okay, I will close public comment. Next on the agenda is item 5.1, the approval of minutes from the May 19th, 2025 board meeting. I'll let everybody take a quick review. And is there a motion to approve?
Approve the minutes.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All right, any opposed? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, next on the agenda is item 5.2, Summer Reading Challenge 2025, review and highlights with Library Supervisor Cambria Evans.
Hello. Good evening, Library Board members. Get myself situated. It's good to see you all tonight. My programming librarians and I were delighted to join your meeting this past May to sneak peek our plans for the Summer Reading Challenge this year. But I'm even more delighted to be with you tonight to share with you how successful that program was. I'll be guiding you through the program's purpose, statistics, included programs, feedback, and outreach successes. I wanted to start this presentation by quickly revisiting what the Summer Reading Challenge is and why we do it, before we jump into all the details of what an incredible summer we had. You may recall from this past May that we shared that children who do not engage in reading over the summer break can lose up to 3 months of reading progress. This has been termed the summer slide. Studies have shown that students who read just 4 or more books over the summer are more likely to maintain or even improve their reading skills, which is one of the main objectives of the summer reading programs. 95% of public libraries in the U.S. offer summer reading programs. Our own Roseville Public Library Summer Reading Challenge has an evergreen theme of Read, Imagine, Explore, and it runs every summer from early June to mid-August. It historically has been a successful program. In this previous summer, 2024, our Summer Reading Challenge had a grand total of just over 7,400 program logs picked up, and that's a lot of reading engagement. But we were looking to level up at the library as our sub-theme suggested, and we did. So with that for context, let's review this year's Summer Reading Challenge, and you'll see that Level Up was indeed a very good sub-theme. We gave out a total of 10,900 summer reading logs this year, which is more than we have ever done. I believe that part of that success in distribution may be in connection with the Summer Lunch Outreach Program that I'll discuss later. But another good portion of that may directly be in connection with the brag tags and the variety of generous prize packages that we had to offer through community donors this year. And I'll touch on all of those points again soon. We had 1,313 first-time youth finishers based on the first-time finisher prizes that were claimed, and a new high score of 763 teen and adult first-time finishers based on the number of Friends of the Library book vouchers that we distributed as prizes. Our Summer Reading Challenge log also included a detachable portion that could be entered into a drawing for 10 different prize packages, and you can enter as many times as you completed the program. We used the total count from all drawing entries to calculate the total number of program completion, and we had a total of 4,412 entries between all three libraries. If you account that each drawing entry was a completion of 10 hours of reading, that 4,412 equates to a total of 44,120 hours of reading in our community between June 2nd and August 9th. It's just 9 weeks. Or you could say that's roughly about 4,902 hours of reading every week between those 9 weeks. So let's compare 2025 and 2024, which had already been a successful year in and of itself. Thank you. We had at least 15% increase in every category of recorded statistics. A 31% log increase is presumed to be in part with the increased participation, as well as the inclusion of it being in our summer lunch outreach bags. We also were particularly blown away by the 46% teen and adult jump for finishers this year. We think the expanded prize packages were an incentive to repeat the program more than once, which may be contributing factors for there. And overall, we had an incredible 26% more hours read during the program over this last year.
So incredible.
Yeah. Yay. Continuing on, we had a lot of fun at the library when the community wasn't busy reading those 44,000 hours. Here you can see the attendance of all of our summer reading related programs this year. We had 22 specific programs, including the month-long Tiny Art Contest in June and the Lego Contest in July. Some of the highlights from programming this year include that we had a record-breaking estimated 2,000 people attend the kickoff party this year. Which included presentation by Mayor Bernasconi and our PRL director for opening remarks, pictures with Pikachu, a putt-putt golf game, a variety of carnival games of all kinds, a really rocking story time, and it ended with prizes galore and even getting some of our staff being pied. We also introduced Bingo as a new multi-generational program offered this summer, and it was very well received. We had 148 attend between 2 different sessions and have had requests for more. We had 400 folks join us at Glowing Batty to learn about these incredible flying mammals in a live animal presentation. And we had 45 attend our teen 8-bit beads crafting event with character-inspired bead designs, which is an outstanding showing for a teen event. A few adults even joined in the fun since it was appealing to a wide cross-section of ages, and we had positive comments asking for more programs like that. And then we danced the morning away to close out the summer at our Glow Light Bright Beads dance party with 233 friends. All of that, amongst many others, for a grand total of 26,413 participants in those 22 events. Over 9 weeks of summer reading equates to roughly an extra 2,900 program participations on top of our regular programming, including Storytime, Baby Lapsit, library tours, the Lego Club, book clubs, etc. Our library was swinging this summer. As I mentioned earlier, we piloted a new youth incentive this year called Brag Tags, which are like collectible education-based dog tags. Our Brag Tag collection, you can see some of them here, specifically featured commonly read and beloved youth book covers such as Charlotte's Web, Where the Wild Things Are, Corduroy, Dogman, the Harry Potter series, and the Hungry Caterpillar, amongst others that you can see in the image. In short, Brag Tags work like a visual portfolio of achievements, somewhat similar to a Scout badge. They can foster a sense of accomplishment and encourage readers to continue on and set new goals, and that's exactly what we saw this summer. Brag Tags were very well received by the majority of our participants, and as we offered 60 different styles, we found that they did meet the goal of encouraging for ongoing participation and reading to collect all the Brag Tags. In fact, next slide, please. There we go. Let's talk about impact beyond just statistics. This slide, this picture, always makes me smile, as this was one of our youth that collected all 60 brag tags. That equates to completing 12 summer reading logs for a total of 120 hours of reading. Talk about preventing the summer slide. In fact, if we look at our stats, we see that if the youth completed the summer reading challenge this year at all, for one, they completed it a second time for a total of 20 plus hours of reading, as we had 1,800, a little over 1,800 finishers for a second or more log, and only 1,300 first-time finishers. So they, again, completed more than once. And that's the kind of engagement that we were looking for by making reading fun and making learning engaging, the rewards of which go well beyond the tags and the drawings. Immeasurable rewards, such as this kind comment that we received. My 8-year-old daughter has struggled with reading in the past and as a result didn't enjoy reading herself. After treatments and intervention, she now loves to read and for the first time this summer entered the summer reading program. She completed 2 forms, just like I told you, and ended winning one of the packages. The summer reading program was a great incentive to keep up her reading skills. This program was such a blessing for my daughter, our family, and the community. Thank you, Roseville Public Library. You can't put a price on something magical like that. No bribes were given for this. It was truly genuine. Self-confidence, overcoming your challenges to find strength, and having positive experiences with reading are intangible rewards that can pay dividends over a lifetime. We are grateful to be a part of this young reader's journey and to her mom for sharing the experience. Next slide, thank you. We also saw new successes in piloting our own version of the Summer Lunch Outreach Program in association with the Roseville City School District's really wonderful summer meal program. Our goal was to connect with potentially underserved populations at the summer meal sites and share a bag of goodies, which included, of course, the summer reading log, awareness flyers for other library resources, 3 summer activity pages that correlated with our programming, a set of tangrams, and 3 books. The program was incredibly well received by the community. We felt like we were rock stars. Everyone was so excited to see us everywhere we went. Both kids and adults were thrilled to have a bag of their own or to share one with a youth in their life. Some of the comments we heard were, "This is awesome. Oh, wow, I know someone who works at the city. I'll tell them what a good job you're doing." We went out to the parks a little bit too. "And this is happening at the library? Okay, we'll see you there." We were excited for that one. And my personal favorite, aside from the many smiles and good vibes, was a young lady, maybe 6 or 7, who was so pleased with her book bag, she immediately asked her mom for a fashion show. And so her family lined up in 2 rows, and she strutted down to model her book bag with a twirl and everything. It was amazing. Underserved or not, we were very happy to have connected with 441 new friends out at school sites. We also made over 70 friends at the grand opening of Project Access, to who we also distributed summer lunch outreach bags. Project Access is an on-site health, education, and employment service to families, children, and seniors living in affordable and workforce housing communities. Many of the residents we met that particular day were women and children who were newly immigrating. They brought such light and excitement with them to experience all that the library had to offer and to have books and bags of their own. They were truly delighted to have one of their own. It was great. It was such a pleasure. Through those 2 methods, the summer meal sites and Project Access, we gave out 513 bags, which included just over 1,500 books. Not a bad start for a pilot program. And of course, we couldn't have done any of that without our amazing sponsors. The Friends of the Roseville Public Library is our top scorer year-round programming sponsor for who we are forever grateful. And this year, we were spoiled with an additional sponsor, Quality Technology Services, or QTS, as listed here. And I believe much of the engagement we received for our readers this year is in part of the community's donated generosity towards those 10 prize packages that was such a good incentive for people to participate. We express our appreciation to all of our challenge donors with a very heartfelt thank you. In closing, we've had an absolute ball this summer. We're a little tired, but it was fun. And thank our community for coming out to read, imagine, and explore with us. Our success is only because they came to participate in this program. It is truly their own success and achievements that we get to be a part of. And we are already planting a seed Summer 2026 might have, then sprout out. Next slide. And as we are in September, which is National Library Card Sign-Up Month, I would like to encourage anyone who may be viewing this presentation to not stop at just summer reading, but to check out all that the Roseville Public Library has to offer in programs, collections, and resources for every season. And with that, thank you very much. I'm happy to answer questions.
Thank you so much. I'd like to open this to the board for comment.
I'd like to comment on how wonderful it is to see that the total reading logs for this year compared to last year was up by 31%. I just want to say that I also love the idea of the brag tags because I really love how small and cute they are with the little book covers. And I feel like those would definitely encourage students and kids to want to read more too.
Thank you. You heard it here first, folks.
I just want to say thank you and well done.
Thank you.
Nice.
The summer reading challenge was huge in our house. My husband and my 7-year-old daughter were kind of competing, and we had them posted in the kitchen. And everybody, she would see him check off a box, and then she'd run and grab her book so she could check off a box. And we also, her birthday is the first week of June, so we picked up some reading logs and put them in each of the kids' party favor bags so that they had a little something to take with them for the summer. So I'm really, really excited to see the uptick. I think the brag tags and the prize packages really incentivized people. So I'm so excited to see what you guys have for next year.
Thank you. Good things are coming.
Okay, I'd like to close board comment, and I'd like to open this to public comment. Thank you. I will close public comment. Next on the agenda is item 5.3, the Library Teen Advisory Board, TAB, overview with librarian Nathan Garcia.
Thank you. Good evening, library board members. It's good to see you all again. Good evening to our audience as well. By way of introductions, my name is Nathan Garcia. I'm the Teen and Adult Programming Librarian. I'm delighted to share with the board the Teen Advisory Board program, otherwise known as TAB, which I will refer to them as TAB throughout the presentation, at our Roseville Public Libraries. Let us start off by discussing exactly what TAB is. TAB is a program that has been created to provide teens in the community a place where they can socialize, obtain leadership skills, and become more connected to the library and the community. TAB meets together once a month for an hour and a half to discuss how our library can better represent them through our collection, programs, and space. Within these meetings, the teens drive the focus of the conversations, and I act as mentor and guide for the group. Together, we plan and talk about different factors to complete whichever projects we think of as a group. And the teens have freedom to share their ideas and ambitions, and I provide questions and try to steer the groups through obstacles and processes. So why TAB? Teens are an often underrepresented demographic, not just at libraries, but in society. In an effort to give teens a voice and an opportunity to represent themselves, as well as gain leadership, job building skills, and experience within the library and the community, TAB is not just an ordinary teen program. It is a commitment that teens are taking on with their already busy schedules and life to improve our libraries and communities. Within this program, teens are gaining job-building skills, whether it be from hosting a program, helping the library with crafts and other events, and by creating ideas to improve teen life at the library. The teens will also have community service opportunities by helping the library with outreach and representing teens and our TAB group within those outreach opportunities. As part of everyday meetings, the teens are encouraged to share details on what they think will improve our teen programs, spaces, collection, and more. But more than anything, TAB is a safe place for teens to socialize and grow as a part of this library and this community. TAB is a place where teens are allowed to be their true selves and share their voices and ideas. As the TAB mentor, it is my job to help guide the teens and refine their ideas. Overall, TAB is a great place for teens to grow in various factors, but most of all, it gives them opportunity to evolve. Okay, so with the 2024-25 overview, in everyday meetings, which as I have mentioned earlier, we meet each TAB group once a month, we brainstorm and formulate ideas for projects and ideas. We also use these meetings to discuss what the library can do better to properly serve teens in the area. What programs do they want to see? How can we make the library a more welcoming space for the teens? How can we improve our collection to better reflect teens' wants and needs? While the teens work on projects, they are allowed to socialize with one another and share whatever they'd like, if appropriate, of course. Over this past year, it has been my first time leading these specific tab groups. Tab was ran during the school months and would take a break for the summer months, and we would meet once a month per tab group, an hour and a half. We have 2 tab groups at the moment, the MyDo tab and the Riley tab. MyDo tab has a total of 26 registered members. We had 8 total meetings over the year, and a total of 83 teens attended those meetings. Tab groups are expected to create 1 to 2 programs a year, which for the MyDo tab, our main project this year was creating a book drive for our summer lunch outreach programs that Cambria mentioned earlier. And I will share more about the successes from the programs in the next few slides. Riley's tab group has a total of 27 registered teen members. Riley also had 8 meetings last year, but they had 93 people attend those meetings over that year. So we had good numbers for both programs. Riley's tab decided to create 2 programs last year. They hosted a 2-day career fair, and they also hosted a study hour for teens during finals week. Now let's break down all of the completed goals and projects for each tab group over this last year. So starting off with the MyDo tab, MyDo teens volunteered for over 125 hours last year. Teens already have busy lives with school, sports, programs, and other extracurricular activities. So them taking on another factor into their lives really speaks volumes as to many teens' dedication to growing and continuing their successes. Within these 125 hours, the MyDo tab team planned, coordinated, and executed a book drive. They reached out to schools and figured out if we could have a donation box at their location and if we could share marketing materials, and found out that the proper channels to share the marketing materials and information. They decorated the boxes as shown on the picture there. We sent out a total of 5 boxes and received over 200 books donated. So it was a great turnout. The teens then sorted the books by age and discarded books that were no longer in good condition. This was a huge success and directly benefited the community, as these donations were used in our giveaway bags for the summer lunch outreach, which focused on providing books and resources to people receiving free lunches from schools during summer. So it's a good way to tie in the teens with some community efforts and library programs. In addition to their program, the MyDo teens also help prepare crafts for our Create programs across all 3 libraries, which are crafts that we have for children at all 3 libraries. They helped prepare the crafts by cutting and organizing papers for the Create tables. In total, they helped us with 2 Create programs, saving us staff time and allowed us to offer fun and exciting crafts for children. Now moving on to the Riley tab. Riley's tab volunteered for over 140 hours collectively over this past year. Within those hours, they created, planned, and executed 2 multiple-day programs. Their first program was the 2-day career fair, highlighting careers over the 2 days. The first day was STEAM jobs, which highlighted an engineer, an art teacher, and a public health worker. The second day focused on government, trade, and education, which highlighted a former mayor and current city council member, a supervising deputy district attorney, a music teacher, and an art teacher. The teens were tasked with finding these presenters and staying in contact with them. Overall, the program was an amazing success. All of the presenters except one showed up. So the teens did an amazing job holding this career fair for teens and adults in the area and maintaining that contact with the presenters. We had an attendance of 29 people for the first session and a total of 19 for the second session, bringing us to a total of 48 attendees for the 2-day program. In addition to the career fair, the teens decided that hosting a 3-day study hour with peer tutors would be a great way to target teens in final season. The teens decided that having a day for each subject would be the best setup to provide the core subjects for teens. We offered an area for teens to study, finals for math, science, and English. Some of our teens even offered their experience and knowledge as peer tutors for other teens in the community. Overall, it was a great opportunity for the tab group to organize and facilitate these programs over this last year. For the 3-day study hour program, we brought in a total of 12 people. All right, so we have some tab changes coming up. We're expected to make some pretty big changes over this next year. Previously, as I mentioned, tab was seasonal, and teens were expected to apply every year and ended for summer break. One of the changes that we are making, which have all been from feedback from previous years from tab, are is making TAB a year-long program, and teens who have applied are a part of TAB until they ask to be removed or until they age out of the program. So we will be working through the summers as well. Making this change allows the teens to work through summer, giving us more time for projects and less time restrictions. This change also creates an opportunity to establish a core group of TAB members who are constantly working on programs, projects, and ideas to improve teen programs and collection throughout the year. Now we can expect the teens to come up with several programs and projects a year rather than our previous standard of 1 to 2 programs. This will also allow the teens to work on projects outside of just programs. They could help with outreach, they could help with marketing, library crafts, etc. This increased time will drive our focus of providing teens with true leadership skills and job building opportunities. We have also eliminated office positions based on feedback from teens last year, with an exception to a note-taking position. In previous years, TAB would send in videos to show why they should be voted into office, which were president, vice president, treasury, and secretary. After speaking with the teens, we decided to go away from this because it allows the teens to all have leadership roles instead of just one or a few, and to take turns with that experience. Also, some positions such as treasury weren't really needed as we didn't have a large budget to work with in the first place. And as mentioned earlier, the TAB meetings expanding through summer, they will have more capacity for more community service and library programs and projects. Okay, so we have some upcoming projects and goals. As we approach the new year, TAB will have started in September. And some of our upcoming projects and goals across the 2 TAB groups include a Hot Wheels car drive, which is currently active until October 16th at all 3 libraries. Those donations will be given to Toys for Tots through the Mahaney Trunk or Treat. Again, projects like these allow the teens to become vital parts of the community. We also want to incorporate TAB members more into marketing videos and materials. So having them film marketing videos for teen programs or events, or even recording videos to teach patrons about library policies and procedures. This gives the teens the opportunity to gain experience, but it also gives the public a chance to put a face to the TAB group and have tangible examples of the hard work that the teens do. TAB will also have a large role in preparing crafts for programs and create, as well as hosting programs at the libraries. We also plan on having increased involvement in library functions and duties. Based on feedback from the teens from last year, they have an interest in the duties we do at the library. So we will provide opportunities for them to learn about the functions of the library behind the scenes so they can understand the inner workings of a library. With all that being said, the TAB groups are a dedicated group and are very ambitious. But who better to share those details than the teams themselves? So please allow me to introduce some of our TAB members. So first we'll have Jackson come on up.
Hello, my name is Jackson, and this is my 2nd year of TAB. Last year I was the treasurer, which we know that's not going to happen again. This year I am on the marketing team, as well as just a general member of TAB. And the experiences I've had in TAB have been extremely positive. No negative feedback from it whatsoever. Last year I helped run the career fair and the study session. And for the career fair, I actually did a presentation for my teacher because she was not able to make it, so I had to do that presentation for her. That was fun. In TAB, I've had the opportunity to meet new people that I would have never met otherwise. And I've really fallen into a leadership role, and I'm very happy with that. I have also had the opportunity to provide ways for teens to get involved at the library, both through our events and the TAB board. And on a personal level, I have learned to work with others that aren't necessarily, how do I put this, necessarily the people I would normally work with. I would recommend TAB to my friends because it really is a great way to give back to the community. It allows you to create events for the teens that are interested, and it allows teens to come and do events that they wouldn't normally do. I would also recommend it because of the learning experiences, because it really is a unique experience to get to be a part of your city, I mean, not everyone can say they do that. And yeah, I'm very happy with how TAB is going, and those are my experiences. Thank you.
Thank you, Jackson. And the next I'll have up Lynn Marie.
Ooh. Kind of short. Hi, my name is Lynn Marie, and I currently go to Oakmont High School. Being a part of the Teen Advisory Board for Maidu Library was really eye-opening for me because it taught me important life skills like communication and brainstorming, and I also gained a deeper appreciation for books because I kind of took books for granted. I mean, libraries are free. I thought books were kind of free, a little. And then one experience that really stood out to me was when we organized Maidu's book drive to collect donations for the summer free lunch program. We managed to collect like around 300 books that were then distributed to kids who might not have had that entertainment throughout the summer. And that made me feel like it was a real accomplishment and really impacted the whole community. And because it showed me that something that simple could really make a difference in someone's life. And it also showed me that even though social media is capturing a lot of attention in teens now, books are still a great source of entertainment. And I feel like, especially now with high schoolers, many forget about libraries, and I'd like to, grow the TAB into something bigger where everyone remembers what libraries used to be like in like the olden days, I guess. And then a specific impact or a specific experience that really impacted me was how much I learned about being confident in myself and taking initiative. Reaching out to new people is really, really daunting. I mean, you don't know what they're gonna say. You don't know if they're gonna say, oh, that's a terrible idea. Don't say that. And then you're kind of like scared. But it taught me to swallow my nerves and just do it and say you did it, because you'll probably regret it more if you didn't do it. And I was like tasked with reaching out to Oakmont, my high school, about seeing if they would host like drives for my book drive. And it really spread the word, helped collect more, and the entire experience showed me that like things can happen if I take action. And it also made me feel like I had a sense of ownership and my voice really was heard. And then I would recommend TAB to any teen who wants to make a difference in their community and meet new people. It's not just about reading books. It's about developing new skills, building new friendships, and taking part in projects that can have a lasting impact. TAB taught me to be really proactive and try new things and reach out to people I might not always talk to. And I think if you're someone who wants to step out of your comfort zone and try something new every single day, TAB would be the first perfect step.
Lynn Marie. And then I'll have Caitlin come up.
Hi everyone, my name is Caitlin Leck. I'm a senior at Wood Creek High School, and I was the secretary of Riley's Teen Advisory Board. My experience on the Teen Advisory Board was amazing. It was really great working with a bunch of different high schoolers and teenagers with a bunch of different perspectives, especially those who share the similar love of reading and the library and just wanting to pursue academic interests in general. Sorry. TAB left a positive impact on my professional development as it taught me skills related to communication, organization as a secretary, and most of all leadership, as it takes a lot of skills and collaboration in order to create such impactful events for teenagers your age. A specific TAB experience that really helped me would have to be the planning going into creating these events, as since there are so many teenagers in TAB, there are a lot of different perspectives to address, such as wanting different times or having different ideas of things to even create. It took a lot of brainstorming to be able to choose 2 out of the many events that our committee brainstormed, and ever since we figured out that, it was just up from there, as there was great collaboration and teamwork as we all wanted to see our events thrive. And it really demonstrated to me how much dedication and persistence it takes for just our community in general to host such events, as teenagers are a little bit hard nowadays to bring out to the library because of differing interests. But with the events that TAB offered, it's great to see that the love of the library still exists and teenagers are still interested in it. And I would definitely recommend TAB to teenagers or any high schoolers my age, as it was a great way to build my professional experience and develop connections with other high schoolers. And it was just great in general working with Nathan, who was a wonderful advisor. So thank you.
Thank you, Caitlin. And then finally, we'll have Pia.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Pia Panchal, and I'm a sophomore at West Park. I've been part of the Teen Advisory Board ever since it was established, and I'm currently taking part of my 4th term here. And over all these years, I've been able to see TAB evolve from a thing where everybody's learning together to a organized board where people can be productive and problem solve as a group. As the board evolved, I was also able to experience growth within myself, and I've been able to develop and improve on skills such as meeting new people, networking and finding contacts, discovering resources, marketing and advertising, and also just handling things when they don't go as planned. I'm also really grateful for the opportunity to be able to understand how the rules and regulations behind the library go and how you can get your decisions authorized. And this allows us to work with resources, but it also allows us to work with certain constraints, such as our budget or board policies. And I think that overall, that's like a really good experience to be able to handle resources and constraints so that we can make and expand our potential on our programs as far as possible. 2 years ago, in my second TAB term, I was able to work with others to develop a college and career-based program, which is called Future Focus. And this was an interactive program with guest speakers, career-oriented activities, and engaging challenges. And the next year, which was last term, I pitched to help continue this program. And so we developed a career fair series, which was geared towards the variety of fields such as STEM, arts and education, government, and more. And together we worked together to coordinate and invite speakers for this event, and we were able to strengthen communication and relationship building. We were able to recruit speakers such as a public health injury specialist, engineer and computer science teacher, and former Roseville mayor. This program was successful than the previous year we did it because we were able to reflect and work upon our decisions from the previous year, and I think that's a really important learning experience. And for recommending this to other teams, I would absolutely recommend it because it's not just an extracurricular, but it's a commitment that youth can get to an opportunity to connect with our community. Because I really value TAB's purpose, because in this day and age, we don't see a teen that's not doom scrolling on their phone. And the average screen time just purely for entertainment for teens is exceeding 7 hours, which is like an insane amount. So I feel like if we have our phones as our first and last thing we see in the day, we can also just invest some time into connecting with real people and voicing our opinions in our community. Parallel to this, I've seen endless studies that talk about the fall of community youth involvement in the past few decades, and I want to address that concern of the decline of volunteerism, and that's why I want to encourage teens to take part in this program and discover the impact that we can really have despite our age. I'd also like to add that TAB has shown me that it's more rewarding to give rather than receive. So in the end, it's not about our volunteer hours or the amounts of extracurriculars we did on our resume, but it's a change in contribution we're able to make for the people in our environment. Ultimately, I'd like to end by saying that it's safe to say that TAB started off as a library's baby and now has grown up through highs and lows, cries and laughter, and will continue to grow one step at a time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Pia.
So impressed.
And thank you to all of our wonderful TAB members who have volunteered here today, and thank you for sharing your experiences. I know you guys have busy schedules and busy lives, so I appreciate you guys coming out and representing the Teen Advisory Board. Before we end today, I wanted to share the link to our TAB application to extend our offer to anyone who is interested in joining our TAB. I have included a QR code and a link below. Please feel free to share or apply. Now I will turn to the board and take any comments or questions.
Thank you so much. I'd like to open this to the board for comment.
Just wow. Thank you all for sharing with us. I think you all have such bright futures, and I'm hopeful there are some future librarians amongst you all. So thanks for coming and sharing and for your commitment to our community. And thank you for your leadership.
Okay, I'd like to close board comment, and I'd like to open this to public comment. Please.
I have a question about your tab.
Go ahead and come right on up to the podium, and you can speak in the little mic here.
I have a question about your TAB program. So the difference between Riley and MyDo, why are there different programs? Like for the Riley one that you have professional people come up, why is that different from the MyDo?
Yeah, so it's really based on what the teens decide the projects they want to work on.
So the teens choose which projects they like, the people and the events they choose?
Yeah, so they kind of get together and they kind of come up with ideas of things they're passionate about or things that they feel like are needed in the community. So for the Riley Library, they wanted to have like a career fair, and MyDo, we decided on a book drive.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's all my questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, and just for the location of which teens go to which tab board, it's based on location and preference. So if they prefer to go to the tab board or live closer to Riley, then they would go there and vice versa.
Okay, thank you. I'd like to close public comment. Next on the agenda is item 5.4, Libraries and Culture Report with City Librarian Narinda Sufi.
Wow, what a wonderful two presentations. And it's interesting because this year we also heard from our staff talking about, thank you, talking about like how easy it was to run the summer reading program, which was kind of, everybody was so excited about that because it's not only successful on the outside, like people enjoyed it, the kids and the families, but our staff enjoyed it as well, so which was wonderful. And the interesting another thing is like how it comes in a full circle, like all these wonderful teens, they helped us to get those books, and those books were then gone back to the community. So I think that's what the libraries are all about, involving and then serving. And I think there's a good example of that through these two programs, how the library staff and the community members did that wonderfully. So yeah. So Narinda Sufi, your city librarian. Just wanted to provide you a few updates, which I have. The first one is the Parks, Recreation, and Libraries update. I just wanted to start with that. The PRL team was in Orlando last week for the National Conference for Parks and Recreation. PRL was 4 years in a row gold medal finalist, so this was our 4th year. Though we didn't win the medal again, we didn't bring that home, but we will. Next year. We had much to celebrate. PRL was unanimously approved for accreditation and applauded for the meeting 100% of 154 standards. So there were 154 standards for the accreditation, and we met every single one of them. And it was like sitting in that room when that was approved was wonderful to see and kind of getting acknowledged for that. And that's, again, this fantastic team, our leader, Jill, so it's everybody's work. So we are 219th agency in the nation, and I think 2nd or 3rd in California. So out of 10,000 agencies nationwide, now to be officially accredited by the CAPRA Board, which is a Commission for Park and Recreation Accreditation. And the PRL was recognized for this accomplishment at the Best of the Best ceremony there. So it was wonderful to see that. Moving on, though we were not busy about the summer reading programs, we also had extended hours this summer, so at Downtown Library. So that was very successful. So this year was our first year to try kind of, extra hours. We saw over 6,000 extra visits to our libraries. And we saw very many new patrons coming in, especially because we were open on Sundays and public holidays, as well as longer hours during weekdays as well. So we definitely are planning to open longer hours next year as well, because that success tells us there is a need for that. In line with that, looking at our hours for Christmas hours, what we have done previous years, especially when it comes to starting from December 22nd till I think December 1st, which is like a holiday, we reduce our hours. We close at 3 for those, like 3 p.m. This year, we will be opening regular hours. Just 2 days, we will be closing at 3, which is our Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. Otherwise, we will have regular opening hours for the libraries as well as for the museum. And I'm sure people will take advantage of that as well. So this again, kind of, to help our residents access libraries for longer hours, especially when the kids are out of school, because families are looking for, places to visit and activities to do with their children. Library Story Walk, which we had at Maidu Regional Park. You may remember, I shared that with you. So that's our first permanent story walk. And we wanted to make it more accessible because when we put that in there, where this is located is on a bike trail. And we saw it's on the opposite side of the walking direction. So we wanted to look for a more appropriate place for that. We have searched every single corner of that park and we haven't been able to find one. So unfortunately, now we are having to take it out from there and we are looking at another park. We want to stay at the east side of the town and want to choose a park there. We're also exploring to have a smaller story walk at Maidu as well, because we want to have one, because I know our patrons, our families, they have enjoyed it very much, so we want to keep one there. So I will have more information on that in kind of coming months, so I'll share more on that. On a library staff update, so we are very excited. We have our new children's librarian, Magali Coronado. She joined us. We didn't have children's librarian all along. We had librarians, but they had duties of doing adult programming, children's programming, outreach, everything. Looking at what we are doing, where we are going, and how our children's programming and the need for more children's program, we decided we want to have a children's librarian. So we are very excited about that. And now with the dedicated children's librarian, I think great things will happen. We will have more programs for our families and children. Magali was a library assistant who joined us early this year. So we have that vacant position, which we're going to fill soon as well. Couple of new services which we are providing. We have launched a new speaker series called Library Speakers Consortium, which will allow our patrons to access and participate in live author and speaker talks online from the comfort of their home. So again, we will be in coming days and months, we will be advertising that a bit more through our newsletter, talking, using social media to promote that as well. So hopefully people will like that. New York Times, we have a full access subscription now. So before, the New York Times were funded through the state library. And at that time, we only had the basic access. Now we are paying for that. And again, it's funded through our Friends of the Library funds. Because many libraries in California are participating in this one, so we were able to get a good deal for that, and we have a full access to New York Times now. On collections, one of the things, the cost is increasing, especially on Hoopla. Hoopla is a platform where you don't need to wait when you are looking for audio, like the ebooks and the other materials. What we have seen in recent years, our neighbors, they have decided to discontinue that. First, it was Sacramento County. They decided they don't want it. Now it's Placer County. They have decided they don't want it, which means we are seeing the demand growing for us. We have to manage that expectation, and we have now reduced our items per user from 8 to 5. So people can still have it, but we're also upping our collections on other platforms as well. So this is more to so we can sustain this service and can still carry on providing access to our residents. Couple of RFPs are out right now. We are looking at the downtown the space planning to address issues we have when it comes to safety and security of our staff and our patrons, as well as the orientation of the library. We really would love to make the library a destination of choice because that's our biggest library. So right now we have RFP out looking for a consultant who will help us to redesign and get that vision together. So the idea will be doing outreach with our users, like library users and non-users, as to what they expect from the library. So that's out. We also have a RFP out for the museum exhibit redesign. So looking at, because we haven't done the redesign of our exhibits there, which are permanent exhibits, for a long while, ever since we opened that museum. So we are looking at that as well. Couple of updates from the museum and cultural arts. So we have new festival called October, which Oaktober, coming up soon, and that is on October 4th at 9 to 3 p.m. So this will be a free family-friendly event, which will celebrate the mighty oak tree. So that's a new event they're bringing in. As I shared in one of the meetings previously, so we are bringing in temporary exhibitions in the museum as well. The plan is to at least have 2 temporary exhibitions a year. So the Moment Wene, which was running until early September, that came to an end, and now we are working on a second exhibition, which will come in October, and that is called Walking in Our Mogs. That's, again, the perspective of Indigenous artists, so, and the reception will be on Saturday, October 11th, 5 to 7 p.m., and is free. We will have about 45 artworks exhibited there. And there is a new mural which is being planned for the soccer complex, the South Plaza wall. That mural will be sponsored by EU. So a lot happening in the libraries and the cultural arts and museum world. But that concludes my report for today. Happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you. I'd like to open this to the board for comment. I will close. Oh, nope, I will reopen.
I just wanted to say congratulations to the department for being the gold medal finalist. I think really they don't know what they're missing by not giving you guys the award. PRL is #1 in my heart, and should be clearly #1 in California, but that's just my own personal opinion, not of the library board necessarily, not to speak on behalf of the library board. But I just wanted to say, just generally too with the update, I mean, amazing work that you guys are doing, and the community outreach, all of the programming, and also just the desire that comes through in all of the presentations, every meeting, about wanting to do more and more, because that's also not an easy undertaking, to do more and more and continue the programming that's already established and doing more. So you do all of it so well.
Thank you so much.
I will close board comment, and I'd like to open this to public comment. Thank you. I will close public comment. Well, thank you. Moving on to the next section. Do we have a motion to adjourn? Or do we do board member reports?
No longer.
Oh, just kidding. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
I move to adjourn.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
A second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, thank you. The September 22nd, 2025 Library Board meeting is adjourned at 6:54 p.m.